What's kicking, you kooky cats? It is me, Benny B, back with another game review. Today we're looking at Blue Fire. This just came out the other day, and it looks pretty good. Pretty good. The game is kind of like Zelda, and you're gonna see the Zelda inspirations quite a bit in the game. Zelda mixed with kind of Hollow Knight, kind of mixed with a bit of Dark Souls, kind of mixed with a bit of Celeste. It's a hodgepodge of some really top games. I mean, I hear Celeste is good. I've not played it, but anyway. So let's talk about the good things about this game. It's pretty satisfying to defeat enemies and conquer the puzzle realms. So what you'll see is kind of, you'll go into these things called voids, and then you'll have to do a bunch of platforming, and then once you finish the platforming, you get something. And there are a lot of those. It looks a lot like Celeste in that regard. But whenever you succeed, quite satisfying. Quite frustrating in the process, but then quite satisfying once you finally do get to the end. What it borrows, and saying that, what it borrows from its inspirations, what it borrows from Zelda, what it borrows from Celeste and Hollow Knight and so on, it utilizes it really well. It puts it together really well. You can see it's very clear as day where each idea came from, but it's not a mess, you know. So I think it does really well blending everything together. And the first thing you'll notice when you start it up is that the graphics look a lot like Wind Waker. In fact, the whole game kind of looks like an edgy Wind Waker, but you don't have to deal with the ship. Now, I know a lot of people hated the ship in Wind Waker. I liked it. I thought it was cool to just set sail and then go take a leak and then come back and maybe go take a second leak and then come back, and by then I'd be at my destination. But here, you don't have to worry about that. You'll have to pause the game if you want to use the bathroom. And there's some RPG elements, like you can collect new swords, there are NPCs to talk to, items to collect, shops to buy and sell things, upgrades, and so on. It's an interesting game. The bad. Well, the first thing that's bad, and I don't want to hold this too much against the game because it did just come out. The game crashed a couple times when I game overed. Not every time I game overed. I don't know if that means maybe I should just get good. Perhaps the game is telling me you're too shitty to play this game, and that's fair. The bosses I've encountered so far, because I've only beaten the first temple, they're pretty uninteresting. They're pretty bland and pretty easy. Like, the dungeon would be really difficult and really frustrating at times, and then you finally get to the boss, and then you blow it away in 15 seconds, and it's just kind of, that was it. That was it. The fighting mechanics felt a little awkward at first, but then eventually I got the hang of it. It threw me off for a while. You kind of want it to play like Zelda, but then it doesn't. And it takes some getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's alright. And then the miasma stuff that you kind of find everywhere, especially early on, it's pretty annoying. Yeah, I don't think it adds a lot to the game, and it really just gets in the way. My own take on that. Some of the more bizarre stuff in the game, there's only really one thing that I found odd, and perhaps there's something I'm missing so far, but emoting. You pay ore, which is like your currency, to get emotes, and then they do these like cute little, the guy does a little cute little dance. Why is it there? I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I don't really think it's great, but it's cute. I'll give it a QT rating for those. So what do I rate the game as a whole? Solid 9 out of 10. Yeah, the game really grew on me. Early on, I was thinking 8 out of 10, but the more I played it, the more I got used to it. It kept rising up those numbers. So 9 out of 10. This game will hold you over until Breath of the Wild 2. Highly recommend it, especially if you like the Zelda series, which is damn near everyone. Or if you've played Hollow Knight. I mean, the game isn't the Metroidvania, it's like an action platformer kind of game. With, like I said, with some RPG elements and so on, but I think there's something in this game for everyone. It offers a lot, and you should check it out. But that's all I got. I'll see you next week. We're probably gonna check out that new Super Mario 3D game. I've never played it before, the original, so I'm coming in blind, baby. I'm hoping for the best. Take care.